You need to make this olive oil cake with your cup of coffee today. The fruity, earthy flavor of the olive oil shines through along with the extra nuttiness from the ground almonds and a gentle hum of the citrus notes from the oranges. It comes together so quickly, it's super easy to prepare. Let's get cracking. You're going to sift in all of your dry ingredients first. So I have some all-purpose flour or plain flour. Then I've added some ground almonds and my leavening agent. So we have baking powder and baking soda along with some salt. And I am going to pass this through a sieve because I do want to make sure that there are no lumps of the ground almonds or any of the leavening agents in there. It needs to be nice, smooth and homogeneous. That looks amazing and I am going to keep it aside because we'll need it later. Now I am going to start adding the zest of an orange into my caster sugar. The combination of almonds, oranges and olive oil pairs so exceptionally well. And in order to get that extra kick of the orange flavor in your cake, the zest plays a very important role. But instead of directly adding it to the cake batter, I love rubbing the zest of this orange into the caster sugar because it helps release the oils in the zest, which is the most important aspect of imparting that distinct orange flavor. Add it into the bowl of your stand mixer or your mixing bowl if you're using electric beaters. Then you're going to add 2 room temperature eggs, and then I'm also going to add some room temperature sour cream for that extra tenderness and moistness to our olive oil cake, and I'll flavor it with some vanilla. For this cake, I'll be using the whisk attachment of my stand mixer, and on a medium-high speed, I'll mix this for about 5 minutes. You'll start to see that it increases tremendously in volume and also goes really pale and light in color. After about 5 minutes, I'll slow down the speed of the mixer and I'll start pouring in my olive oil a little at a time, gently adding the olive oil while the mixer is still running on, and you can also do this with electric beaters. It helps emulsify the cake batter and it gives a very glossy look to this batter right now, and it also helps tenderize the cake really well. Once you've added all of the olive oil, stop your stand mixer or your electric beaters, and using your spatula, just make sure that you're getting the zest back into the batter because the zest will cling to the beaters. That's just what it does. So make sure that you are separating it so that the zest is in the batter. Then you'll also add in some orange juice. I like to add mine into a sieve just to make sure that it catches any spare seeds or pulp from the oranges. I'll put the whisk attachment back on and then mix it on a medium speed for just about 10 seconds to help it combine. And then I'll add in the milk as well, and I'll go back in for about 10 seconds on a medium speed just until combined. You'll see that the cake batter is looking really runny, and that's just how it's going to be. But once it bakes, it's going to be super tender and moist. Now I'm going to add in the dry ingredients that we sifted in the beginning. And now I'll go back in on the lowest speed setting of my stand mixer or electric beaters. And I'll mix this first for about 10 seconds. I'll then scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl because I want to ensure that all the ingredients are well combined. And then I'll go back in on a slow speed for about 20 to 25 seconds. You absolutely do not want to overwork your cake batter because if you do, the gluten will develop and that will give you a very dense cake. You don't want that. So mix only until combined for about 20 to 25 seconds. And then I'll pour this into my 8-inch cake tin, which I have greased really well and lined the bottom with parchment paper. I'll bake it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius for about 35 to 40 minutes or until a skewer, knife or a toothpick comes out clean. Once it's out of the oven, I'm going to let this cake cool down completely, and then as a final finishing touch, I'll dust it generously with some icing sugar. You can see how amazingly tender and moist this cake looks. The crumb is delicate and fine and it just melts in your mouth. The flavor of the olive oil is so gentle and it just shines through beautifully without being overpowering, and it complements so beautifully with the ground almonds and the orange zest and the juice. You can see how soft and fluffy this cake is and it tastes spectacular. And if you enjoyed this olive oil cake, I also have a lemon cream cheese pound cake video that I think you should check out next. It's on the screen. Enjoy!